Why did they quit production of One Tree Hill?
Are you serious? That's your rant?
Yes, I miss it. It was a great show.
Didn't it stop like 20 years ago?
I still miss it.
Are we plugged in?
Yep, we're plugged in.
Okay, let's go. Welcome to Port City Living, our third season. We are back. Port City Living is a podcast about life in Wilmington, North Carolina, and the surrounding area. And I'm your host, Billy Corbett. I am a property pilot.
Oh, that's new.
You know, do you think that's new? I was like, you know what? I'm tired of saying that I'm a real estate agent. That is so 1987. And so that's what I am. And my co-host is Brad Brown. He is a mortgage lender. What would you call yourself if you had to, like
a mortgage shawarma. Shawarma.
Shawarma?
Shawarma.
Shawarma?
Okay. You know, he's the guy who gets you.
You've been thinking about this.
He
right?
gets you to the top of the mountain.
I thought I was gonna surprise you with this, and you weren't gonna have an answer for me, and you were just gonna say, "Oh, I'm just a mortgage lender."
Oh yeah. So one thing to note in season 3 is nothing is rehearsed.
No,
we don't know what the other is going to be bringing to the table.
Absolutely not.
Am I right? Is it a shawarma? It is a shawarma.
I don't know.
A shawarma.
It's a shawarma, not a shawarma. Anyway, in this season, we're going to talk about Wilmington and life here, as I mentioned earlier, and we're going to talk about the good, and we're going to talk about the not so good. And because, let's face it, there is not one place on the planet that's perfect, right? And Wilmington is definitely not perfect.
Shaman. The mortgage shaman.
Oh, shaman. What's a shama?
I don't know. There's a shawarma that's a Greek thing with French fries in it. Isn't that the shawarma? Okay, I feel like we derailed. I'm a shaman. I'm a mortgage shaman.
You're a mortgage shaman. Okay, so I'm a property pilot. You're a mortgage shaman. And together, we get it done.
That's right.
We get it done. But we're not going to talk about real estate or mortgages because that's boring to most people. So we're going to talk about life in Wilmington. And again, we're going to talk about the good and the bad. So we're going to bring a little bit of good and a little bit of bad. And especially for those of you who are thinking about moving here or maybe just visiting, you might want to know what you're in for, especially if you're coming in the summer.
This is true.
Because, so we're going to dive into that for a second. But first, let's talk about, so Brad and I, just a little background, we just tried to do this 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we did some technical difficulties.
Yeah, we got one episode in the can,
and then I canned it because it was cannibal.
Yeah,
and so now we're back, but we haven't really talked much since then. And so since then, have you done anything crazy? Have you run a race?
No,
nothing crazy.
Yeah, no. In January there was a race. Dance competitions take up life now. 'Tis the season.
So Brad's wife is a dance teacher. She teaches a plethora of dance moves.
And you can relate being
a
former
totally
clogger.
Relate. I was a former clogger in my childhood life, which gets every year it gets further and further and further away.
Yeah. She keeps saying she's going to have you into the studio as a master clogger and teach a class one day.
I am sure that her kids would probably laugh my ass right out of that building because I don't think I would. They would look at me and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because I think clogging is a completely different animal today than it was back when I did it back in the 90s in Little Burgall, North Carolina.
That's right.
Well, I mean, she's there too, obviously. Well, not obviously, but that's where she teaches. But clogging has come a long way. Anyway, so you haven't done anything crazy. I haven't really done anything crazy either. However, tomorrow night, I am having dinner with a neighbor who has invited me to have dinner with George Smart, who is the executive director of U.S. Modernist out of Durham. And I'm very excited about it because this organization takes care of, educates people, does revitalization on mid-century modern and contemporary properties and structures.
Yeah. Cool.
And I just found out recently that here in Wilmington, where I live in this neighborhood called Summerlin Falls, it was actually built. They were built in the 90s, but they were built as a mid-century modern inspired project. Right. So, those I've talked about my house before, but and the builder and architect of my neighborhood his has passed away, but his son is going to be at dinner tomorrow night too. Anyway,
So where's dinner?
I think we're going to Indochine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I haven't been there in a long while.
Yeah, neither have I.
So I'm kind of excited about that. So I can report back on that. Because if you're interested in mid-century modern design, which I didn't think Wilmington had much of, but when I spoke to George on the phone not too long ago, he said we have at least 150 structures of mid-century modern properties here. And
here.
A lot at Wrightsville Beach, actually, if they haven't torn them all down.
And Country Club, Cape Fear Country Club area. Out there as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, over on like Gillette Drive and all that area over there.
Cool.
So beautiful and so awesome. So so that's what we're doing. So we're gonna jump into this and we're gonna rant. We're gonna rant about Wilmington. This is gonna be so much fun. And my first rant, which we said we weren't gonna tell each other what we were ranting about, but you already know I'm gonna rant about this because I rant about it all the time. This is like my thing. A little background story, I will tell you that Wilmington, I grew up in Burgaw, which is an adjacent community to Wilmington, but we grew up coming here for everything. And so I've seen it change over the last, I'm 56, so I've seen it change over the last 56 years, and it's gotten better, but it's also gotten very crowded. Oh, yeah. Very, very crowded. It's insane. And Wilmington, or New Hanover County, is the second smallest county in the state, which I have said that before. It is, I looked it up, it's like 329 square miles. That was Millie shaking her body. And it's, so it's not big, and there's a lot of people here. But my big rant about Wilmington is the traffic. It is just insane. And because especially during COVID, whenever people were able to work from home, and then that's when people started moving all around because it was their opportunity to do so, people kind of found out about our little area here, and people started flooding into Wilmington. Big time. And you know it because you were giving mortgages out left and right, and I know it because I was helping people buy, and it was a tough time, but we really got inundated with lots and lots of people. And I don't really think, in my opinion, our infrastructure was set up for it. Never. And the problem is that we don't have anywhere for it to go because we are a triangle shape.
That's what I tell everybody. We are a triangle.
We're like an upside down triangle.
Yeah, if you can figure out Market Street, College Road, and Oleander / Military Cutoff, you kind of got it. You can get where you need to go as long as you can visualize that triangle.
Absolutely. And we can't do any kind of perimeter because we got water on both sides of us. Yeah. So there's no way to get, so and they've tried over the years to add different roads in and they're making things wider every day. And I think what used to be shortcuts for us, like Carr Avenue, for example, Kerr, Carr Avenue. I call it Carr. Some people call it Kerr. But that used to be a shortcut. That's no longer a shortcut. That's a main road now. Wrightsville Avenue used to be a shortcut. Also no longer. It's not wide, but it's not everybody uses it. Not a shortcut anymore. Everybody uses everything. So my rant about Wilmington is the traffic and how bad it is. And I think they're trying to figure out how to alleviate some of it. They're starting to talk about putting overpasses in major intersections, which really changes the way everything looks here. Yeah. And you just can't add a little overpass. It has to start way back from the intersection, and it really it messes up your. Millie's chewing on her bone, and it's making a lot of noise. It makes it messes up the not the flow, but it messes up the what word am I looking for? The way that Wilmington looks. The aesthetic. The aesthetic. That's the word I'm looking for. It messes up the aesthetic because
sometimes they can make the overpasses look attractive, but they do just stop when construction is done. I mean, I've been in other cities where they're fully landscaped all the way on the exit ramp. There might be water fountains in the middle, like ponds and water feet. We don't do that here. We just stop with the hardscape and we're done.
Yeah, because we did the 140 extension. So it started at the end of Military Cutoff and went over Market Street and then out through one of the communities to get out to 140, so that you're able to funnel people kind of around Wilmington somehow. And you're right. That looks like it almost looks like a wasteland. I mean, it's new, but it doesn't. It's not pretty. There's nothing about it that looks good.
All.
Wilmington, I will say this, doesn't really have their finessing ability down pat. They really don't get it, and I don't understand that. But not only is the traffic just a problem, it's the way these crazy ass people drive. Mm-hmm. It is insane. People do not understand the concept of
a roundabout.
That they definitely don't. We'll talk about that first then. They definitely don't understand the concept around. Everybody wants to stop.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to stop. It's meant to jump in there. And if you see somebody coming, just know that they may jump in front of you. Don't get offended. Don't get mad. It's meant to keep the traffic flowing. That's the whole point of roundabout. If everybody's going to stop, they might as well just leave a stop sign there.
Oh, see, I look at it differently. I'm like, if there's a car coming, they have right of way because they were in the roundabout first.
So if a car is coming down the road and you're about to come in at the same time, you don't think that car has the right to jump in there really quick and keep going?
Come in at the same time.
If somebody's already in the roundabout and you see a car coming, do you slow down, let that car go in front of you, or do you just keep going on around and let them slow down?
I keep going around.
I think it can work both ways. But you're right. People in Wilmington they get so confused about a roundabout.
Yeah. Well, and I was saying that because I just got stuck in one last week near the office, and the car was already in the circle, and this one pulled out in front, and I didn't, because there are yield signs there, not stop signs. Of course there's yield signs, yeah. So,
I mean, you have to use common sense, but still, every time I see people driving is they come to a complete stop. Even when there's no traffic, they still come to a complete stop.
I try to keep it flowing. So maybe we post a poll. Do you stop or do you flow?
Do you stop or do you flow? That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you have a rant or a rave about Wilmington that you want us to talk about, then just drop the hashtag PCL Rants and Raves. We will find it, or you can just leave us a message and in the comments, and we'll talk about it as well. We won't use your name. We'll protect your anonymity, but we would like to know what everybody out there is ranting and raving about. And so you can answer that question too. Do you stop or do you flow?
You should have paused right there before you started that and said, and now a word from our sponsor, Sport City Living.
Well, guess what?
If you have.
We don't have sponsors, so, it's just little of us.
We are our own sponsors.
Maybe one day. Anybody out there wants to sponsor us? Trust me, I could use it. Trust me, I could totally use it. Okay, so roundabout is one that people don't know how to use. That is for sure. The other thing is, a couple of things. People don't, and again, y'all, this is not specific to Wilmington. It's everywhere, but we're just bitching about Wilmington and the people that drive here. But the other thing is blinkers and their lack of ability to use them correctly, because that drives me crazy more than anything else, because I can't tell you how many times I see people. So the point of a signal is to let the person behind you, let them know what you're getting ready to do. And you're getting ready to make a move. What?
It's the person in front of you sometimes. If you're sitting at an intersection,
absolutely,
and I'm waiting to turn, I need to see what you're doing.
Absolutely, the person in front of you as well, for sure. But what gets me is that people like to put their blinker on after they've already moved into the turn lane and they're getting ready to turn. It's like, you idiot, I know that you're turning because you're
already there.
I have literally seen people put their blinker on mid-turn. Are people that stupid?
Yes, unfortunately. Yes.
It's baffling to me.
It's bad. It's real bad.
So just pay attention when you're driving around Wilmington, because people don't use their blinkers half the time, and then when they do use them, they don't use them correctly.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I screw them up every once in a while too. But I just think it's just a concept that I constantly pay attention to, probably way too much. But I just think it's extraordinary how people don't understand the practicality of what a blinker is and what it's for, and how to use it. Mm-hmm. So that's the other thing. The other one more, is that speed limit signs in Wilmington. At absolute decoration in Wilmington streets and roads. So absolute decoration. Up. They mean nothing.
I got pulled last night.
Good. Were you speeding?
A little bit. You want to hear my story? So you know the new military cutoff extension. That's a
Mm.
45-mile-an-hour road. The one between military cutoff and 140 that cuts all the way through Ogden.
Yes.
That's
what we were just talking about,
yeah,
right?
that's a 45-mile-an-hour road. And I just left the gym.
Well, because it's more like it's set up to look like a highway, but it's more of a road because
It's very curvy.
it's very curvy, and all these neighborhoods that they cut that road
on
through
both sides.
are on both sides of it, and so
Yeah.
they have to be able to get in and out of it. So that's
Right.
why it's not it's
Like
not
55
a highway.
even.
It's not
Yeah.
55.
Yeah.
So that's why. But
So
it looks
it's-
like it would be more.
It's a 45. It was 7 o'clock. It was dark. I saw the trooper, and I just kind of coasted by him, not paying attention that
You're
it was
like,
the
hey.
trooper. But my cruise was set on 53, and he got behind me. He rode me for a little bit, and then he puts his blue light on, so I pull into one of those neighborhoods you just mentioned. I'm like, oh my God, what was going
That's a
on?
horrible feeling.
And so he comes up to the car, and he said, can I have your license, please? So I told him, I was like, it's in my gym bag. Can I reach for it? Because I'm respectful. He said, absolutely. Do you have any weapons? I said, no, sir. So I go to my bag. I get my wallet, give my driver's license. He puts the flashlight on it. And then he said, do you know what the speed limit is on that road? I said, yes, sir. It's 45.
You're like, no, I never go down this road.
Yeah,
I've
right?
never done it.
Yeah. He said, do you know what the speed limit is? Yes, sir. It's 45. Do you know how fast you were going? I said, my cruise control was set on 53. And he just kind of chuckled a little bit. And he said, well, I'm not going to give you a ticket. He said, I ran your plate. You got a clean history. I'm going to let you go. But if I got to drive 45, you got to drive 45.
All right.
And so, right.
Yeah.
And I pulled away, and I should have said something about, I thought 9 was fine. 8 is great. I would have been good. But Heather
Was he a
advised
state trooper or a Wilmington cop?
He was a trooper.
Oh, trooper.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't
That's
say it.
interesting.
But he was a nice guy.
That's
But
good.
he was just trying to make sure that I knew it was 45, and I think he was just more upset that I passed him than that I was going to 53.
He was jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think overall people, well, it's actually one of two things. Either because I asked my best friend Mark was here for the past 2 weeks doing some work on a house that I sold for a client. And, I always ask him, I was like, what do you think of the traffic here? Because he lives in Greensboro, and Greensboro is a much bigger city, and their traffic is nuts too. And he was like, he said, I think it's funny that I think a lot of people drive slower and go way under the speed limit. Here, which I think is interesting because I
Wow.
think everybody just speeds like crazy. But he says he experiences a lot of people driving around that he feels like go way slower. And we do see that.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of everybody wants to just fly through and just goes. And it's like everybody's in a hurry here and everybody's racing each other. That's the way I feel.
Right.
Maybe I'm just too affected. Maybe I need to get my life together. Maybe
Like
I need to go to church.
9 is fine. 8 is great.
even on streets?
Yes.
Really?
Always. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm one of
God.
those.
I'm one of those follow the rules.
Whatever.
I'm so afraid I'm gonna get in trouble. Well, and I tell you why, because I went through a school zone years ago, and when I was up in High Point, I was working at Furniture Market there, and I went through a school zone and got nailed for a ticket, and then wasn't living there, so I had to go back for court, and that was a pain in the butt. But it cured me of ever going through a school zone more than what it says, because and I watch so many people get all antsy when they get behind me because I slow down and they're trying to get around me, and I see people just fly right on through them, and I'm like, are you just not paying attention, or do you just not care?
Yeah, they don't care.
I know they don't care. Nobody cares.
I don't care.
And I just think it's funny because I know you don't care. I care. I'm a driver who cares. I'm very defensive. As I've gotten older, I really pay attention to what I'm doing, and
I mean, there's some places
because honestly, I love the art of driving.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love the art of getting in my car and putting on good music and driving across town. I'm never in a hurry because I have my life together in that respect. I know when I'm going somewhere and I have to be somewhere at a certain time. I have my GPS on. I know exactly how long it's going to take me before I leave my house. So I'm not trying to kill myself and everybody else in the process to get to where I'm going. And I feel like that's what everybody's doing. I feel like nobody in Wilmington knows how to work a GPS. I feel like everybody's in a hurry, and I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. So prepare yourself if you are thinking about visiting or moving here, especially visiting in the summer and you're coming down here to the beach. Traffic can be crazy town.
And I feel like you do need to give yourself a good half an hour to get almost anywhere.
Absolutely. 100%, because there's that many people here. I looked it up, and there's in New Hanover County. So I said New Hanover County is the second smallest county in the state. It's 329 square miles. There is 243,000 people in New Hanover County. I thought it was way higher than that.
Yeah, it feels like it should be.
And I just looked it up, and it was 243,000.
Huh.
And I always just say that Wilmington is New Hanover County because Wilmington takes up a huge portion of it.
Yeah.
But there's some pockets of little areas that are not considered Wilmington,
right?
But not much. Yeah. So just be aware if you come here. I mean, if you want to drive like you're on the Autobahn, you are all set. You're all good.
Drive on Autobahn?
If you want to drive like you're on the Autobahn.
Oh, I gotcha.
In Germany.
Okay.
Then you're all set.
Because there is Autobahn Drive.
There is Autobahn Drive.
It's covered in speed bumps.
But you can't go fast on Autobahn Drive because there's a billion speed bumps and they're pretty severe. So you have to be careful.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were referencing that street or not.
No, I wasn't.
Just for clarity to our great listeners.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely not drivable like that. But because in my opinion, the Wilmington police don't care. Anyway, okay, let's move on to something else. Did you have a rant?
I got a little rant.
Teeny little rant.
I got a little rant. I don't know how much you can participate in, because remember, you're not supposed to know what the other person's ranting and raving about.
Go for it.
My rant is, how do we put this? What's the best way to word it?
Can y'all hear Maggie?
Probably.
Bless her heart. Millie, she's chewing on her bones. So sorry if you hear this in the background, but this is keeping her from jumping all over us and tearing the microphones off of the rack of the holder.
So my rant is, why did they quit production of One Tree Hill?
Are you serious? That's your rant?
Yes. I miss it. It was a great show.
Didn't it stop like 20 years ago?
I still miss it.
That is the most peculiar rant I think I've ever. I don't think that's a Wilmington thing.
Imagine. It is because it was filmed here.
Well, I know that, but I think it's more of a...
I miss it. It was a good show. Nathan and Haley could be grandparents by now.
You're so stupid. Listeners, that is not a real rant. That's a fake rant.
No, that's a real rant. Have you seen the show?
I never really watched. I knew about it, but I never really watched it.
Yeah,
I watched Dawson's Creek more only because I was on it in the last season because I thought that was kind of fun. But even the first parts of Dawson's Creek, I never really watched.
Yeah, we never saw the first part of One Tree Hill until they grew up and graduated from college, and they did the flash forward. I think we might have even talked about this before. And the flash forward as young adults was so good, we went back and watched all the high school years. It was a great show. Yeah. I miss it, and I think it did a lot of good for just like Dawson's Creek and. There's still so many like famous landmarks in Wilmington,
like the Dawson's bridge. House. Yeah, the bridge. But Dawson's house is on the market right now. It's under contract. Yeah. The house that he lived in.
Right.
I think it's on the market for. I can't remember. It's $1 million plus.
Right.
It may be more than $1 million, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it's under contract right now. But yeah, there's a lot of and we get tours, people coming in to look at all of the different places that they film. Why are you laughing? Getting ready to laugh?
No, I'm not.
I thought you were looking at me like
I'm listening intently to see how you handle this rant.
This crazy rant. Yeah. And
anyway, it was a great show. It sucks that it's gone.
Dawson's Creek better, but
it was so good.
And James Vanderbeek, God rest his soul. That was devastating when I heard that.
Correct.
That was so sad. So sad. And I ran into him once. Well, I was on the last season of Dawson's Creek in multiple episodes, but he was never in any of the ones I was in. It was always all the rest of the cast. But I was at Circuit City. You remember Circuit City on Market Street? And I was in there one day, and this is when you would go buy your CDs and stuff and albums. And I was just standing there, and there was this guy beside me in flannel or whatever. And I looked at him, I was like, oh my God, it's James Vanderbeek standing right beside me. That's crazy. He was a good guy.
I met Katie Holmes and Michelle Williams. I worked at Sam's through college, and that was kind of cool. Michelle was just browsing the book section at Sam's Club,
just like a human,
right
just like a regular human,
late at night before closing.
I used to wait on them both at the Gap. I worked at the Gap from '98 to 2002 part time, and they would come in there and just shop. And bless you, sweetie. They would come in and shop, and I would just ring them up, just like and they would just be normal and whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, but okay, so
there's our rant.
That's an interesting rant. Okay, what do you want to rave about? What's something that you're loving in Wilmington right now that's making you extremely happy and that you want to tell everybody about, and you just want to like shout joy from the rafters?
So my rave right now is K38.
Brad, K30. Jesus. You act like K38 just started like last week. That is not.
Hey, there are no parameters on Rants and Raves.
All right.
I spent
K38, by the way, is a restaurant that's been in Wilmington for
ever
30 years.
Yep. Tex-Mex style food.
It's really good. Really, really good.
Couple of different locations. I do love the one in Porter's Neck. I bring it up because I just had like dinner by myself Saturday night there, and it was just interesting. It was funny. The food is so consistent. Like it's good. It's not like elevated, like 5 Michelin stars or however how many you get. I mean, it's just good food that I enjoy, and I enjoy the environment.
Yeah, it is good.
And I love it. I love the food.
Yeah. I tend to gravitate more toward Zocalo, which is up here in the Point.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Zocalo's really good, and El Cerro Grande, but I mean that's probably on the lower end. But
that's straight up Mexican, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's good. But yeah, K38. There's one on Oleander. There's one in Porter's Neck, and that's it. Is there one? Oh, there's one in Leland. Right.
Carolina Beach, Leland, Barclay Point, or excuse me, down the street here by River Lights, the Point, and the Forum.
Wow.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So if you want good Tex-Mex and you're visiting, or you live here and you've never eaten it.
So, I've always got a story about something. So I tell my story that I love the street corn there. I think the street corn's delicious, but I don't want to gnaw on corn on the cob in public.
And then go and smile at everybody.
Correct.
Because it's all up in your toofies.
So I made the request one time when we went there to eat dinner. I said, I want street corn, but in a bowl. I did not say off the cob. And the waitress brought an ear of corn in the bowl.
In a bowl.
And I looked at her and I'm like, what is that? Might have had more words in there, but I said, what is that?
What the?
Will be censored.
Well, she gave you exactly what you asked for.
She gave me exactly what I asked for. And the thing is, what made this thing with Saturday night so wild is I was just sitting at the bar eating by myself, and I was telling somebody the story that this woman came and sat like 2 bar stools over from me, also by herself, and she ordered 2 ears of street corn, which I thought was wild, along with her other food. And I was like, I've got a funny story about street corn. You want to hear it? So I tell her the story. And then she goes into, well, she gave you exactly what you asked for.
She did.
And then I got a history on a woman's menstrual cycle.
Okay.
And that does crazy things to a woman's brain. And if that's what she heard, that's what she did. She couldn't read between the lines to understand that I needed more. And
this is life in Wilmington.
Maybe that should have been my rant, is getting a
I know, maybe.
anatomy lesson, biology
I think
lesson
it'd be a whole hell
at the
lot
bar.
better than the fact that One Tree Hill's off the air.
No, that is a rant. I'm sad about that.
Wow. Okay.
So,
well,
but yeah, that's my rave. K38.
If you want Tex-Mex, K38. That's the place to
K38.
go.
That's where I want to go.
Place.
I could eat there every other day.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. My rave is what I love what Cape Fear Community College has done for the northern part of downtown. I think it's just
incredible.
been
That's a good rave.
Amazing.
Yes.
They've really, really taken that end of downtown. So historically, that end of downtown was the train depot. All the trains came into Wilmington that way. Wilmington was a big destination, and it was back in, I don't even know what year, but a long time ago. And this was one of the major stops on the railroad.
So, can we give all credit to CFCC, or is that part of Wilmington and the?
Well, I was thinking that very same
Downtown
thing.
Alliance
It's not really a Wilmington rave. It's more of a Cape Fear Community College rave. But they've just hold on. Gotta find a toy for the dog. They've really done a good job of just dressing that into town up, which was kind of a lot of just warehouses, and then all of the, and then Cape Fear Community College was built in the '60s. But all the buildings that were there previous were all the old railroad buildings, and they got torn down and whatever. And then on the corner of Red Cross in front was the big Union Station building, which was a gorgeous station that had that big rounded corner. And then in 1970, they imploded it and they got rid of it. And there was a big hole there for my whole adult life up until 2012, when Cape Fear Community College built a modern day replica of Union Station.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's really, really cool. It's really, really awesome. And it's so they did that. They've since built the Wilson Center, which is our huge entertainment. It sits like 1,800 people.
That many?
It's just, I think.
Oh, there are like 3 floors. I keep thinking of just the first floor.
It's really amazing, and you know that's been a huge what's the word I'm looking for? It's been huge in downtown because we've got the Thalian Hall, which is our historical theater, but this was a state of the art, brand new place, and it gets
definitely attracts bigger names. I feel like
it totally like the first artist to perform at Cape Fear Community College Wilson Center was Liza Minnelli, and we've had many people since then.
Yeah. We saw comedian John Crist there a couple of years ago.
Oh,
hysterical.
Oh yeah, I've been to so many. I just saw one in a Judd there last summer, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
But so state of the art theater, but they've just done a good job of really just dressing that end of town up. Now a big CRO, clinical research organization, years ago built a really big high rise down at that end of downtown too. So that also helped dress that end up. That building was recently sold to our city, and I guess our city offices are in there now. It's the PPD building.
Yeah. What do they call it? The Sky Tower?
Sky View or something like that now. I don't know. But so that end, and then now we've gotten since Cape Fear did what they were doing, everybody else has kind of followed suit further up north on the river, where they've gotten all these really high end, nice apartment complexes and that kind of thing down there, and restaurants and things like that. And so I just think Cape Fear has done an amazing job of dressing up that end of downtown, making it look really pretty, and it's just been.
And you got amazing. Live Oak, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that's like the big draw.
Live Oak Park Bank, Live Oak Bank Park. It's a well, we might save this one for later because I have a little bit of a rant about that. But we do have an outdoor concert facility.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that at that.
Oh, okay.
Because we'll talk about that one later because I have some issues.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. That may be the next episode because that would be a good rant. But anyway, so yeah, that's my little rave. I think Wilmington allowed Cape Fear to go in there and do some really good stuff, and, and it's been amazing. Yeah. And Cape Fear is a good college. I went to Cape Fear Community College back in '88 when it was still Cape Fear Technical. Cape Fear Tech is what they called it. And back then it was just a technical college. It was a quarter system. When I started, I was there for the first year, and then they changed over to the community college, and then they went from the quarter system to the semester system. And it gets really good reviews. It's a great place for young people and old people to go get education if they can't really afford the university system, or they can start there and then move into the university system, which we have UNCW here in Wilmington.
Get your 2 years associates and then move on.
Yeah, but I will say this. This might be a rant, but this was then, and that was stupid back then. But when I got my 2 associate's degrees from Cape Fear Community College, I wish I'd done that a little bit differently.
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't help me at all. Not one.
Oh yeah, I mean I did the whole community college thing too, not Cape Fear, and you definitely need to go in there and figure it out yourself. You're not going to get help from the school counselors.
No, and
they're not competent.
And it's not even that. It's just that what I should have done is had a better plan where I go there for 2 years and then go on to a university system and get more education and really. Well,
that's where they failed you, because that's what I say.
Oh, they totally failed.
They should have encouraged that plan and helped you build the plan.
And back then, that was how many years ago? 30 years ago. They may have tried to, but I just wasn't hearing it, because back then I was so naive and so.
We all were.
Did not want to leave, didn't want to leave the area. I was terrified of leaving my mama, and so I probably had many opportunities to do better, but just didn't,
Yep, I get that.
But, so these are good rants and raves, except for your.
You don't like mine.
I don't like yours.
But
I think that's a horrible rant.
That's all right.
Whatever.
That's okay.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this. We hope you found it interesting, and we would love for you to chime in if you have a rant or rave about Wilmington, and remember to hashtag PCL Rants and Raves, and we'll find it. I guess that's how it works.
Yeah,
I'm just old enough to not really know how I hashtag everything. I have no idea how they work.
Yep, people with similar interest
Okay.
we'll begin to see it.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Well, do that and consider subscribing, and we hope you got something great out of it. We really appreciate you listening to us. I am Billy, and that is Brad over there, and
The mortgage
shaman. The mortgage shaman, and I'm the. What did I say I was? Oh my God! I completely forgot already. I'm the property pilot. Yeah, because I help you navigate.
Yeah.
I kind of came up with that about river pilots, because river pilots help people get up and down the river, and I'm like a real estate pilot.
I like it.
Clever, right? Very clever.
I'll stick with shaman.
Okay. All right. That is our first episode of our 3rd season. So this is where we will continue to bring you lots of rants and lots of raves. So listen up for more to come. Thanks, everybody. And remember, if someone doesn't have a smile,
give them yours.
Give them yours. Bye, everybody.
Was I supposed to say that?
You can say that.